Okay, so again, I'm going to be giving my overall thoughts on this first part. Then we're going to have a big spoiler section. You know what to do, okay? Alright, so in this episode, or this part I guess, we're covering episodes 3 and 4 of Ahsoka. And I am going to be giving those an A. I feel like this is definitely an improvement over the first two. They managed to keep the story going along rather smoothly and de-emphasize a lot of the continuity. There's still some points in there where they make references to things, but it's not so heavy as it was in the first two episodes. I think, like I said, it moves along really well. There's some nice action set pieces. There's some decent character development amongst the protagonists, and it does seem to go along pretty well. If there are any drawbacks, I would say mainly that the villains are getting a tiny bit repetitive. It definitely seems like Hati is getting kind of pushed to the forefront. Granted, given the health situation involving the late Ray Stevenson, there could be a reason for that, so I don't want to get too hard on it, but yeah, it's just getting a little repetitive at points. But other than that, yeah, these two episodes were very enjoyable. They did a good job, like I said, of furthering the story and having some decent action set in there to keep me interested in this series.
From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection, it's Millennium Falcon that you put together. Batteries not included.
Nice landing, Han Solo. Uh-oh, come on, Chewbacca. Stormtroopers are coming.
Action figures each sold separately.
Got them on radar. I'll fire the laser cannon.
There's even a hidden storage hatch.
Ready for takeoff. Jump to light speed. We're gone. On to the Death Star.
Millennium Falcon from Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection. Action figures each sold separately.
I need another leg.
It's Kenner's new Star Wars droid factory that you put together to make your own droids. Jawa action figures sold separately.
Hey, I made R2-D2.
You can make your own droids or follow the droid maker blueprints. By switching different tops, arms, and legs, you can make hundreds of droids, up to 5 at a time. The movable crane swings parts where you need them. You can even make droids with wheels.
Gotcha.
The Star Wars droid factory. Jawa action figures sold separately. New from Kenner.
Okay, again, this is the spoiler section, so skip to here if you wish to avoid them. Okay? Okay. So, episode 3 is titled Time to Fly, and this deals a lot, like I said, a lot of character development in this portion of this, and a lot of setting the stage for, obviously, later Star Wars stories. I guess, first and foremost, we get a bit of an explanation as to how Sabine is Ahsoka's apprentice Jedi, even though she is not Force sensitive, which is just, you can not be Force sensitive and still train to be a Jedi. It just takes a whole lot more work. So that's just kind of, again, because the Force is in everyone, you could be trained to tap into it, like I said, but it just takes more work. As we see some training sessions with I keep messing this droid's name up, so I'm going to say this like 14 times. It's probably all wrong. So, Hyang and Sabine, as they do a little bit of training, and then Ahsoka steps in and they do some of the, I guess, blindfold training, for lack of a better term. If you recall in A New Hope, where Luke has put on the blaster shield, the mask with the blaster shield on it, and learn to see through the Force, basically. And yeah, she struggles. Sabine's basically Ahsoka kind of moves around her, uses the Force to throw her voice, try to lead her off, and then tap with a little wooden lightsaber. They have a training saber basically. So yeah, we're leading even more into the samurai imagery. And just kind of tap, try to see if she can counter it without it being done, and eventually Sabine starts to get a little frustrated, and again, it's just kind of a, hey, this is going to take time, we can't just rush through this. If you're going to do it, you have to kind of dedicate yourself to this. As this happens, Syndulla is meeting with the new Senate of the Republic, led by Chancellor Mon Mothma, and she explains about everything, and this could lead to Thrawn. They're like, well, isn't Thrawn dead? And they're like, well, we're not entirely sure. And they said, look, we know you're just looking for Ezra Bridger. And it's kind of, this is where we get this, the setting of the stage for the later Star Wars stories. Like I said, you're basically seeing how the, for lack of a better term, malaise of the New Republic allowed for the rise of the First Order. The idea of, well, we beat the Empire, and that's it, it's over. There aren't any possibly loyal Empire people. They all converted, and they explain what happened on Corellia. It's like, yeah, that's just an outlier. It's not important, and even though it seems Mon Mothma is against it, the rest of the council basically shoots her down. In particular, there's one that's really kind of smug about it. She gets the message to Ahsoka and Sabine as they arrive at this planet, I think it's Cetus. And, they find the hyperspace ring. And, they try to get a message out, but it gets jammed. And Hati and Merrick, that's this kind of like chief assassin droid, attack them in Jedi starfighters. Or like kind of repurposed Jedi starfighters, I would say. They get into a shootout. This culminates in after their blasters are taken out, and even Hyang is taken out temporarily, just as he's completing a scan of everything. This, like I said, this culminates in Ahsoka literally stepping out onto the outer part of the ship to take the starfighters on with her lightsabers. She disables them, and they get down to the planet just long enough to avoid detection and settle down in a forest. But that being said, they already kind of know like they're there, so this all kind of begins leading up to the fourth episode. Yeah, the fourth episode is Fallen Jedi. Anyway, like I said, their comm systems are damaged though. Hyang is reactivated, but he's going to need to patch them up so they can send a message for help to Syndulla, who has already amassed a small group to basically go out and do things on her own because she's a general and she can't get in trouble for it. She'll probably wind up getting in trouble for it. Anyway, as this is happening, the assassin droids are kind of watching from the distance after they track them down. Hati and Merrick are sent out after them again. See, again, this is where it's like we're getting a lot of Hati in this and not enough of Baylan. That's Ray Stevenson's character. And like I said, it could be understandable that given Stevenson's health situation that maybe they didn't want to involve him in too much. So I could kind of understand that, but after, like I said, it also does make it a tiny bit repetitive. So, yeah, basically they're also entering the quandary of, Ahsoka basically realizing, like, hey, look, if push comes to shove, we may have to destroy these things, which means, if Ezra's alive, there might not be a chance to rescue him. Yeah, we might have to ruin our chance at ever finding him. Sabine is not too high on it, but sort of understands. As this happens, again, they get attacked, they get confronted by Hati and Merrick. Sabine runs off fighting Hati, and Ahsoka is left to battle Merrick, which leads to a scene where Merrick is employing his Inquisitor lightsaber, and he gets it to kind of spin in a rotating fashion, leading to a bit of a strobing effect, which could be disorienting. But it's to absolutely no avail, as Ahsoka just basically slices him in half completely and destroys him. And so this character that everyone thought was was being built up as this big bad, not so much. So yeah, as this happens, Sabine again tells Ahsoka to leave and just get to this map and try to fix it as they're calculating the coordinates. Morgan is up on the space ring as this is happening. And Baylan is there, and Ahsoka and Baylan get into a fight. Eventually, Ahsoka does manage to get her hands on the map, but it's burning hot, so she drops it. It's then that Hati and Sabine rush back, basically back to them, and Sabine is able to get her hands on the map and hold her blaster to it to shoot it, but she kind of freezes, and this enables Baylan to knock Ahsoka over a cliff. He then basically says, look, I'll get you. I know what you're really after. You want to be reunited with Ezra. You give that to me. We will leave you unharmed. and it's enough for Sabine to basically give in and give it back. Sabine is then taken aboard the hyperspace ring. This is just as Syndulla and her forces are arrived, one of whom is Carson, the X-Wing pilot we kind of were following in the last season of The Mandalorian. He's the one who was in the second season. He's the one who keeps popping up frequently and interacting with Din Djarin and everyone. He's that one. And, basically it's right as they're showing up, they see the hyperspace ring, the hyperdrive is activated, they get caught in the backwash, and only Syndulla, her son, and whose name I never got, and Carson are the only ones left. Afterwards, again, as this is happening, Ahsoka wakes up. She's on a force bridge where she hears Anakin's voice. She sees him. It is Hayden Christensen. It's a very poorly CGI de-aged Hayden Christensen. Like, you couldn't just get Hayden Christensen. Like, he didn't look that much different in Obi-Wan. I think it would have worked fine. But, okay. And that's how the episode ends. Like I said, interesting character building moments throughout these, good action set pieces. I mentioned the repetitiveness with the villains earlier. And I do, like I said, I liked how they're kind of planting the seeds for the New Republic to kind of ultimately fail. And I know there's some people who are kind of... I've seen a few reviews on Twitter where it's like, wow, they're really kind of bleak on this thing. It's like, well, yeah, they have to set up the next... the next three episodes 7 through 9, basically. So if they're, the First Order has to actually ride. You have to see how that happens, and you have to see where those struggles are setting up and everything. So yeah, guess what? It's not going to be all happy days. It's going to be a lot of blissful ignorance that probably does the New Republic in. So yeah, trust me, I've seen this happen. So yeah, like I said. Understandable. I understand kind of like, just wanting to have fun with Star Wars and I see everything be so downtrodden, but at the same time it's like, you kind of have to in some points. Okay, so, yeah. Like I said, overall, it's fun. Definitely an improvement over the first 2 episodes in that they de-emphasized a lot of the continuity, so it's like, if you, aren't new, or if you are new to this portion of the Star Wars universe, you can... After getting all that continuity dumped in the first, you can kind of move on and still enjoy this part, and it's not entirely necessary.
Nagamaru!
It's the Star Wars Creature Cantina that you put together. Action figures each sold separately. You can make them move on revolving discs with the action lever. You can even make them fall.
Gotcha, Hammerhead! Got him. I told you not to follow me, Greedo. You owe us money, Han Solo. You're not going to collect this time. Wow, what a weird place.
Kenner's new Star Wars Creature Cantina. Action figures sold separately.
Let's get out of here, Han Solo. Careful, Luke Skywalker.
Introducing Death Star World. 2 play sets in 1. New from Star Wars Micro Collection line. 14 die-cast figures and action poses included.
Death Star escape has an elevator and a cannon that explodes. Wow! It connects to the Death Star compactor. It's you and me, Ben Kenobi. What's this? Oh, no! The wall! Run for it! Made it!
Death Star World from Star Wars Micro Collection line. Play sets also sold separately. Figures included. New from Kenner.
Okay, so this is probably going up Wednesday morning. After the next video after this is going to be the Madden Week 1 preview, the NFL Week 1 preview with Madden. And then after that, it's going to be the probably Week 2 of Madden, and then the random trade review on New Warriors Classic Volume 1. Then we're doing we're doing Ahsoka reviews in 2-episode chunks. So we'll be seeing you in 2 weeks for the next Ahsoka review, and then after that, again another Madden. So see you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can request a movie or a television series for me to review at my Patreon at patreon.com/CP Time for Cat Productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be alerted to further videos.